Man, raffles are totally rigged, dude. Do you ever notice that it's the same people winning raffle prizes every single week? I'd be willing to bet that you've heard this sentiment before, or something very similar to it. Some people believe that the popular fundraising initiative known as a guild raffle, an initiative that most trading guilds and ESO implement to be able to afford their very expensive guild traders, is rigged. So what exactly is a guild raffle? Generally speaking, ESO guild members can purchase figurative raffle tickets every week by donating gold or valuable items to the trading guild or guilds that they're in. This is usually done by depositing these things into guild banks or mailing an officer gold or items. Sometimes there are other ways in which guildies can earn these raffle tickets, such as through participating in events like a farming party or by overpaying for items in a guild auction. Once a week, raffle winners are drawn and given their respective raffle rewards to thank them for their contribution to the guild. Some people claim that the guild management personnel, like guild officers or the guild master, reward only very good friends of the guild with raffle prizes each week, instead of drawing for winners normally. Thus, guild raffles are rigged. I've heard this statement countless times in my YouTube comments myself. I've even seen this whole notion get memed on in videos where people will joke about how the person that always wins the raffle is like a guild officer or some shit.
A city up in flames from a violent riot. A small community took to the streets and burned down their guild hall after they learned that the person who won the 50 million gold raffle was their own guild master.
To be fair, it's a pretty funny meme. But some gamers are dead ass. Some of them express that they don't ever buy raffle tickets for this reason, or that they don't want to join trading guilds because of the prospect that this statement actually carries some weight. Thus, I wanted to address this conspiracy theory, if you can call it that, in a video so that my rebuttal to this horribly misinformed statement could potentially reach more ears. Unfortunately, a spicy lie like this one is always more entertaining to discuss than the boring truth, and I think that's why this whole raffles are rigged sentiment is such a widespread belief among novice traders. Now, to be fair, if you don't give it much thought, you could see how some of these gamers come to this conclusion. You may even start to believe that they're onto something. Sure, it may be easy to roll your eyes and shrug off Joe Nuts over here who donates 1K every week and is obviously just mulding over the fact that they haven't ever won a raffle prize before. But what about your other guild friendo that does donate pretty generously but yet has never won a raffle prize before when they say to you, "Hey man, you ever notice that the same people win the raffle prizes most of the time? And those people are pretty active in the guild or pretty close with the guild master. Kinda weird, don't you think?" But if you put those two brain cells of yours to use and enact some of your critical thinking skills, you'll come to realize exactly why this can be the case. It's true, oftentimes, some of the most active and friendly folks in the guild win raffles. But that's not because raffles are rigged, it's because these people donate a lot of gold. That's the boring, uneventful reality of the situation. So wait, the people that love the communities that they're in are more likely to contribute to their well-being and support them? Wow, what a concept. Listen, I'm a guild master of a trading guild myself, and I oversee the raffle operations, so I know who is donating what to the guild bank, and I even draw our winners using a really handy ticket counting function in the Google raffle sheet that one of my officers set up 2 years ago. Some of our most active members donate amounts of gold or valuable items to the guild that are absolutely wild, insanely generous. These values are far greater than the average guild bank donation, so it would make sense, statistically speaking, that these players end up winning raffles fairly often. To still give other guildies a chance at winning raffle prizes, our guild gives out 10 prizes a week. In our guild, it's not all that uncommon for a guildie that donated anywhere from 10 to 50k to end up as a raffle winner for any given week. But trading guilds aren't obligated to accommodate players in this manner, to be fair. And that actually leads me to the next point that I really want to touch on in this video. I think it's important to remember that, like any fundraising initiative, a raffle is not a means for guildies to make a lot of gold. It's a means to, get this, fundraise gold to be able to afford a guild trader. Using the trader is how you make a lot of gold in this game, and the gold required to pay for it has to come from somewhere. Guild taxes are an embarrassment. The amount of gold that the guild gets from taxes is not even remotely close enough to pay for their traders, which is why so many guilds resort to utilizing fundraising initiatives like raffles and auctions, or they set rules such as meeting a mandatory weekly fee or sales quota to be able to afford their pricey traders. So instead of putting your tinfoil condom on and talking talking shit about the people that play an integral role in maintaining that guild trader that you love to use so much, I implore that you consider continuing to do what you can do to help the guild afford that trader as well. Every little bit of help counts. Yes, even something like a regular 1K donation is appreciated. Or you could just shut up. You can do that shit for free. You'll have to excuse my snark. Reading comments like those on my YouTube videos as a guild master that busts her ass off to maintain a trader for her community can be pretty mold-inducing. But I understand that there are some gamers out there that mean no ill will by inquiring about the validity of raffles and are simply unfamiliar with the ways in which trading guilds fundraise gold to afford their traders. The concept of weekly dues or fees is often met with the same kind of skepticism from some players, which is also rather unfortunate, as dues, like raffles or auctions, are merely another means for trading guilds to be able to afford their expensive traders. Guild staff are not pocketing the money, which is what some people genuinely believe. If you aren't going to be selfless and offer up your gold or time to help pay for the services that you take advantage of, then at the very least, mind yourself and your behavior. The trading guild system in ESO is far from perfect, believe me, but it is what it is. The traders won't magically pay for themselves, and guild staff do what they can to be able to afford them, and there are generous guildies out there that are willing to help. What's that phrase? It takes a village? Something like that. But to conclude this video, I do wish to touch on one final point. I believe it would be disingenuous to not acknowledge the fact that there have been trading guild personnel out there that have objectively taken advantage of their guildies before, whether through raffles or other systems. Absolutely. Although situations like this are incredibly rare and widely known about in the ESO community as word travels fast. These guilds also don't tend to withstand the test of time, as they unsurprisingly tend to struggle to retain guild members. I know the name of a few guilds with questionable management practices, and it wouldn't surprise me if some of you gamers did as well. Heck, I used to even be in one years ago. Well, not a trading guild, but a community one. I remember donating expensive items like ambrosias and gold quality foods and spell and weapon power pots into the guild bank, and telling the guild master to distribute these resources to players as he saw fit, so that we could ultimately help our guildies. I knew that some of them had expressed that they couldn't afford to raid with us because they couldn't afford meals and potions. I wanted players that required these items but couldn't afford to pay for them to have access to them. And what did my guild master do? He charged players gold for those items that I donated to the guild bank and then pocketed the gold to keep for himself. What a nice guy, eh? Needless to say, the guild fell apart. Shocker, I know. So yeah, there have been cooked guilds out there, for sure, but to paint all guilds with the same brush is a little silly, don't you think? And to assume that a raffle is rigged just because active players win all the time is just as much of a fallacy. Oftentimes, the guilds that are operating with unfair practices will raise plenty of other red flags that you'll notice long before you even consider the validity of their fundraising initiatives. Rigged raffles are not something that you'll ever have to worry about with most successful and well-established trading guilds. If you still have concerns about trading guild practices, I would ask your friends for recommendations. Or if you're like me and you don't have any friends, you could scour other resources like Twitter or Reddit for some of the #ESOFams recommended or favorite guilds. But that's all for today. I hope this quick little chat helped clarify some things for you. If anything's still unclear or you just have other general trading guild questions or concerns, I'd be happy to answer them in the comments. Just to be clear, I made this video because of how often I get the whole "yuck, I hate trading guilds because raffles are rigged" comments, and I've been getting a lot more of these kind of newbie remarks, I think, because there are a lot of new players in ESO lately. This has nothing to do with my own guild. You gamers are best in slot. Thank you all for watching today's little rant. Thank you to my YouTube members for the additional support, and I will see you gamers in the next video. Cheers.